What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about Vin Diesel's latest action film, Bloodshot, based on a comic book by the same name. So Diesel's essentially playing yet another superhero, but this time it's much more his speed than, say, Groot is. So gather your swains to watch this film alongside of, and let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, swain, a young lover or suitor. Bloodshot stars Vin Diesel as Ray Garrison, an army vet who has recently been killed by a nefarious villain. Thanks to science and technology, he's brought back to life via nanobots that can repair his body back to health, which he plans to use to exact his revenge on the man that killed him. But not everything is as it appears to be. Vin Diesel is an action hero, that is no debate. He's been killing it in action roles for a very long time. But ever since the Fast and the Furious took off, he hasn't had many of the leading standalone roles that really made him famous in the first place. Roles like Riddick or Triple X. But you know what? I'm not sure Bloodshot will join the ranks of the others, but it should. Because places like Rotten Tomatoes have Bloodshot with a rotten score, and I think that'll probably make a lot of people avoid this movie. But truthfully, I think that'd be more or less a mistake because I really enjoyed it. Sure, it has some issues here and there with things like CGI, maybe some action sequences, but those negatives are mostly canceled out from where the movie actually does things well. The character of Bloodshot is memorable, he is unique, and most of all, he's pretty freaking cool. And Vin Diesel, he fits the role perfectly. The look of him, the sound of him, everything makes sense, but of course, it is based on a comic, so there's source material there that people may love or hate. I have no idea because I have no connection to that source material. All I have to work off of is the movie itself, and the movie itself isn't bad at all. Structurally, the film follows a pretty unpredictable narrative, at least at first. It has a good sense of twists and turns that keep things heated up, and my intrigue as to what's going on never really ended. The visuals and color palette often impressed me, especially when things started going slow-mo with smoke and visual effects. It all looked really snazzy, and I'm a fan of that. However, I'm not immune to problems that this film had, so let's talk about that for a second. The character of Ray Garrison, or Bloodshot if you will, is basically Vin Diesel's character from Fast and Furious if he was given a superpower. Even the fact that he can connect to the internet to locate anybody on Earth, that seemed a little bit too similar to God's Eye from the latter Fast and Furious films, and the whole reason he's doing what he's doing in this film is connected solely on his desire to do the right thing for his family. Again, sounds a bit too much on the nose for Dom Toretto in Fast and Furious. So the lack of originality definitely took a hit in my scoring spreadsheet, as did the touch and go visuals that sometimes looked amazingly great and sometimes looked like hot garbage, especially towards the end. So can I see where critics hated this movie? I guess here and there, sure, but the concept alone is enough for me to really enjoy the flick. The concept of the character, the concept of the story, and its enigmatic riddles as to what's truly going on. For me, that was enough to warrant a purchase of the film. Maybe I'm just crazy though. Let's take a look at that final score. From an unbiased perspective, I truly believe that this film did a lot more right than it did wrong, and my unbiased score is 84%. And because I had an extremely entertaining time with it, my bias is slightly higher at 88%, averaging that score out to 86%, which is what I'm giving Bloodshot. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Maybe it's not made as well as it could have been made, but where it stands now, I was a big fan of. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this movie though. Next year when I do Demi's 2020, this might be in the running for Superhero of the Year award. Probably won't win. Way too early to tell. But hey, I had a good time with it. Tell me your thoughts below. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review and would like to see some others like it. Hit the thumbs up button because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon because that'll help notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!